Alright, in this video I'm going to show and teach you on Microsoft Word made easy for novice and beginners. Now this tutorial is divided into 3 parts. This is the part 1 of this tutorial and it comes with each topic guide in which we will look in all the various topics in it. Hello, you're welcome. My name is Henry and you are at HTech-Academy YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful to you. Let's go into the business of the day. Now, Microsoft Word is a word processing program that allows for the creation of simple and complex documents. Now, this is the interface of the Microsoft Word. As you can see over here at the left, we have the Home tab, which is where we are currently in. We have the New tab, we have the Open tab, we have the Accounts, we have the Feedback, and the Option. Now, over to the Home tab, documents that we could use to start a new Word document on Microsoft Word. Over here, we could see some templates. Alright, to access more templates, we click on More Options. Okay, so when we click on More Options, we could see varieties of templates. We could scroll at this, we could drag this scroll bar down to get access to more templates. Now, what are templates? Templates are simply customizable Word document that we could easily customize or edit for our preferential use. Alright, now we could access this. All this over here are the default saved templates that comes with Microsoft Word. Okay, to access templates that are not found on a default template. Let's say you want a template which is not found in the list of the default templates. Just simply go here and search for whatever template you want. Let's say we'll be searching for a birthday template. So I'll just come over and I'll write birthday, right? And I'll just click search. It's going to take some time to load the online template. Okay, now this gives us multiple templates we could use for our birthday, as you can see. So just go over and click on whatever option we like, alright, and download. Okay, or we'll double click on it to open. Okay, this takes us to this particular interface. Okay, as you can see, it opens the template for us to have access to. Now we could customize it and put the name, okay, of the celebrant or whatever detail we want this birthday to have. Alright, so immediately select our template online, it comes up to our default. So over here we could easily access it whenever we want. Now we'll click back on the Home tab. Now just below the template you have what we call the recent file document. Now the recent file document, when I scroll down, you can see various documents and their dates. Now to access more documents, I can click over here. Right, this takes me to the documents folder where I can see different and more documents. I could recover or save one. Okay, I could go over to the folder and have access to more. Okay, so I'll just go back to our Home tab. Right, now the recent tab over here contains recent documents that has been created on Microsoft Word. It helps arrange them according to their date of creation, making it easier for the user to quickly access them. Now, documents in the recent tab can be pinned. Now, when I scroll through the document, this very icon comes up here, okay, which is pin this item to the list. What does this pin mean? This pin simply helps us stack our document so it could easily access to. For example, instead of going to search for it all the time or having to scroll down to search for it, we could pin it. So whenever we want to have access to it, we just simply go to the pin document. Now this is what I mean. Let's say I want to pin this particular document which says Novice to MS Word. I'll just come over to this icon and I will click on it. And when I click on it, it gets pinned. So I will scroll up and I will come over to the screen tab. Right, as you can see, I have the file document which is Novice to MS Word. So instead of me going over here to start searching for it, I can easily access it on my pin tab. So we pin different documents that we want to always have access to faster, right? Now, just below the home tab, we have the new tab. Now, the new tab is another interface on its own. It also contains various templates we could use. We can also go to and search for online as we did before. You see the previously downloaded templates we did. Okay, now we could scroll down and also have access to other templates. Remember, I said template as customizable documents that we could use for any document purposes. Now, just below the new tab is the open tab. The open tab is simply the tab that allows us open documents that are stored inside our system or inside our computer. Now when I click on it, notice it gives me access, okay, to my PC to browse. Okay, it also gives me access to my drive. But right now, it's not connected to my Google Drive. Now I can click on this PC. It takes me to my saved folders on my PC. I can scroll down to search whatever folder I have document in I want to open. I'll just locate the document, okay, and I'll just click on it till I'm able to see the document and have access to it. If it's not on this folder, I could click over on this arrow to go back and locate the folder. Browse also does the same thing. It takes you fully into your PC. This time you see your folders from the Windows interface instead of the Microsoft Word interface. So over here now, you have full access to every document in your computer or in your PC. You can easily go back, you can see your folders and you write over here your 3D object, desktop, document, download, and the rest. So you have full access to whatever document you have inside your computer through the open tab. Right? Now, next after the open tab is the accounts tab. Now, when I click on the account tab, okay, this gives us the account details of our Microsoft Word. As you can see, we could over here we have the account privacy. We could manage these settings by clicking on this tab over here, right? Now under it is Office Theme. You could click on this drop down and choose whatever preference theme you want. If I select dark, notice the color of the interface changes. So I'll leave it as default white. Alright, over here, if I have an account with the Microsoft Word Office, okay, I'm going to see my details at this point. But if I have and I've not signed in, I can click over here to sign in my account with Microsoft Word. This gives us the product information that you see, various products that comes with this particular software, ranging from the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and the rest. Over here gives us office updates and the rest and the other detail. Below the account is the feedback. The feedback allows us to make recommendation or comment or suggestion to Microsoft Word. Let's say we are creating a document, and on the process of creating the document, we get some bugs or we get some unpleasant situation. We easily write to Microsoft Word and recommend better ways they could serve us. Alright, so if there is something we like, we could also send over here saying I like something. We could use this to send nice positive feedback to them. We could just send them a fan, letting them know that we don't like a particular program from them. Over here allows us to send suggestion or what they could make improvements on. Now, after the feedback, just below it is the option tab. Now, the option tab, when clicked, it contains all the preference settings of the Microsoft Word, ranging from the general to the trust center. And when I click on each of these tabs, I notice the interface over here changes, showing that each of them has their commands settings. Now over to the general tab. Looking over here, we have a lot of things we could customize, alright, to our preference. So I'll just leave everything over here as default. We'll look more and more into some of this as we proceed in this tutorial. So I'll just click OK. I'll be going into a new document, creating a new document on the Microsoft Word. So we're going to click on the blank document to jump right into the workspace of the Microsoft Word. So I'll click on this is the Microsoft Word workspace. The Microsoft Word workspace contains sections. As you can see up here, we have the home ribbon. The home ribbon contains different tabs and different command group. Now when I click on each of different tabs, it embodies different command groups that we can use on our project. Okay, now on the home tab you will see different command group. You see the clipboard, the font, the paragraph, and the styles. When I click on the insert, you will see different command group. Now, when I right click on the home tab, I get the message that says customize ribbon and collapse ribbon. Customize is simply adding more tabs to my home ribbon, and collapsing simply means collapsing the home ribbon. So I will click on customize ribbon. On clicking on it, this dialog box pops up. As you can see over here at the right, I have some tabs over here I could include in my home ribbon. Okay, as you can see over here, we have the main tabs, we have the all tabs, and we have the two tabs. Now in the main tabs, whatever tab I want to include on my ribbon, I will just have to click on them, alright, and I'll just click OK. And notice they have been added to my home ribbon. Now if I want to collapse this ribbon, I'll just right click again. Now click collapse. Watch as the ribbon gets hidden. So to view it back, I'll click on it and it comes back. Now at the top, we have what we call the quick access toolbar. Just like every other program, the quick access toolbar is a panel that contains tools that we could easily have access to instead of having to search for it on the ribbon. So over here allows us to, when we click on it, it allows us to save our option. We have the save option, we have the redo, and we have the undo. Now to add more tools to our quick access toolbar, we have this drop down over here. We can just click on it, alright, and it takes us to the panel of the customized quick access toolbar. We could tick whatever option we want. It is when I tick on it, it comes up. So we could tick on whatever options we want to easily have access to. Now I could click on more commands, okay, to have access to other commands in the quick access toolbar. Alright, now let's say I want to add the option, see that the option read aloud. I'll just click on it and I'll click over here to add I could go on and add whatever tool I want in my quick access toolbar. I could just search for them. Okay, now just click the add. To also remove, I will just go over to the option I want to remove and I will click on this tab over here to remove. Right? So we could add whatever tool we want to our quick access toolbar, which allows us access them easily. Alright? Now over here is the title bar. The title bar contains the name of the document. Because I've not saved it, it takes a default name as document one. Now when I decide to save my document, it allows me, gives it a name. Okay, let's say I want to save this particular document. I could just go over to the quick access toolbar at the save option in the quick access toolbar. When I click on it, okay, notice it takes me to the desktop. And then I'll be saving this at the desktop. So I'll click on this. Okay, now this time it allows me to rename my document. I can say Microsoft Word made easy for beginners. Click on save. Right now, notice when I open back a document, it takes a different title. Okay, it takes the title of which I saved it. Okay, next is the search bar. The search bar allows us to search for whatever features we want to know more about in the Microsoft Word and use the search bar to locate it. Now we have the sign in option. The sign in option has to do with the user having an account with Microsoft Word. So you having an account with Microsoft Word helps us to easily save our documents on the cloud. The cloud is a space in Microsoft Word that users can easily have access to, just like the Google Drive and others. Over here, we could minimize or exit our Microsoft Word. So this is basically your workspace interface of a Microsoft Word. Okay. Now before I go on, I would like to give my workspace a professional view. Okay, by activating my ruler and the navigation panel. And to do that, you go to the view tab and you can see at the show command group, you click on the ruler. Notice the ruler stop. Then also we click on the navigation panel. The navigation panel gives us the preview of all we have on our document. It shows the heading, the pages, and the results. Over here allows me to search for whatever word I want. Next, I want to search for font type. I just type on it, font type. Okay, notice it just pops over here. Okay, showing me font type, and this one I'm searching. I will click on it. It will immediately highlight the part in my document, so I can search whatever word I want over here. These are one of the functions of navigation. Now, after owning our ruler and our navigation plane, the next thing we're going to look into is the font formatting. Right into the home tab, you can see the home tab contains various command groups, each command group containing different tools that can be used while creating your Word document. Now, first we're going to talk about the font type. Select it like this, alright? Then I will go over to my font command group. Over here, I can format my font. Okay, to view more properties in this font command group, I can click on this little arrow here, click on it. This gives me more options on how I could format my font. I could also go to the advanced to see more advanced option. So I'll just click. Now over here is the font type. Okay, the shortcut for this is Control plus Shift plus F. Now I'll click on this drop down. As you can see, I have various font type. Notice as I scroll through towards them, my text, the format of my text changes. So I'll just go and I'll just pick a random font for this exercise. I'll pick this one. Notice my font type have changed. Now the next thing after the font type is the font size. And the font size is immediately after the font type. Now this is used to change the size of our font. Now if I click on this, I could access different size. Notice as I go down, the size gets bigger. Alright, so we could use this to change the size of our text. Also next to this is two icon here. One is used to increase and the other is used to decrease. So I could also control my font size through this icon over here. I can just keep clicking to increase and click and also click on the other one to decrease. So I will leave it as this. Now the next one is the change of case. So the change of case has to do with changing the case of the font. So I will select it. Currently is on uppercase, which is all the letters are in capital letter. Now if I want to change it to sentence case, I will use what I call the change case. So I'll click on the drop down. Notice I have the sentence case, I have the lower case, I have the upper case, I have the capitalized each word, I have the toggle case. Now if I select the sentence case, notice only the first letter takes the capital format. Okay, so I could also change to this also. Okay, I could also change to the toggle case. Okay, notice why the formats are being interchanged. So I will leave this as uppercase. Now the next is the clear formatting. And the clear formatting is I simply call it the reset button. It resets our font back to its initial state. Let's say, let me apply some fonts to this. Okay, let me just change the font type. So let me choose a pretty obvious font type. Alright, let me work with this. Now I'm going to apply a font formatting to this. Notice it's going to reset this back to its initial format. So I'll just select it. Alright, I will now go to my tool over here to my clear all formatting. It states it removes all formatting from the selection, leaving only the initial unformatted text. So I'll click on it. This is what happened. It resets our format to the initial state. Now the next is called the font bold. Now this is used to bolden our font. So I will select it and the tool for that is found at the font command group. Okay, over here is the command group. Now the shortcut for this is Ctrl B, right? When I click on this, notice this thickens my font. The next is the font italics. So I'll select it and I'll click on it. Notice what happened. My text or my font is being slanted towards the right. The next is the text on the line. Now, after the italic is the underline too. So we're going to select this under here, this text on the line, and then we'll click over here. Notice once I click, my text is being underlined. For more options, I can click at this drop down. I could see various formats of from various line formatting. Okay, let's say I want to choose this to be on the line. Okay, I also have access to change the color. Okay, as the default color, which is black, I can make it red, right? I can change the texture of my line to this. Okay, notice how I now have a different on the line. Now we have the strike through. The strike through is just immediately next after the on the line. Okay, so I will just select the strike through, select the text I want to strike through, and I will click. Notice the line stretches in between the text. Now we have what we call the subscript and the superscript. Now the subscript is I'm going to be using this wire as an example. Now this is H2O. I'll be subscripting my 2. And over here you have X with the base of 2. which is a subscript. I'm going to subscript my two. So to do that, I will select it. Okay, I'll come over here. I'll click subscript. Notice the two comes below the other later. So I'll do the same for this. I will select just the two and I will click subscript. Okay, notice the changes that will come. The next is the superscript. So to add the superscript, I will select the two and I will click my superscript. Notice how it becomes the power of X. Now the next thing is the font effect, is a property next after the superscript. Alright, now the font property, when we click it affects text and also the typography settings of the text. If I click on the drop down, I'll get to see various types of font format. Notice as I scroll through it, my text effect changes. Okay, I also have access to some control over here. I can control the outline of it. I could change it to any color I so wish. Okay, I also have the shadow effect. Okay, I could play with some of this. I have the reflection effect, I have the glow and the rest. So I will just choose a random effect. Notice how our font is being affected by the font effect. So you could go around, choose whatever format that suits you. Okay, play with any of these properties. Alright. Now the next is a text highlight. So I will select this just after the text effect is the text highlight. Now this applies highlight color to our text. The default highlight color is this. So I could go over and change to whatever highlights color I want. I could leave it as blue. Okay, notice how my text is being highlighted. To remove this highlight, I will just select it and I will click on this and I will go over to no color. This takes it back to this initial font. Now the next is the font color. The font color is simply used to change the color of our font. So to do that, I will select my font. I will go over here. These are the default black, which is default color. So I can change it to whatever color I want. And let me change it to this color over here. Notice how the color of my text changed. Alright, now the next thing we are going to look into is the paragraph formatting. Alright, so this enables us format our paragraph. In the home ribbon, we can see the paragraph command group. In this paragraph command group, we have various two properties. The first we have here is the listing. We're going to create and manage list items. Now we have three types of listing in Microsoft Word. We have the unordered slash bullet listing, the ordered listing, and the multi-level listing. Okay, now the unordered listing. Make an unordered list of wild animals. Now we have a list of wild animals and we are going to make an unordered list of out of them. And to do that, we simply select my list of items. Okay, I will go over to my command group. Over here is the unordered listing or the bullet listing. So if I click over here, this takes the default listing format, which is this dotted. Now if I want to change this second, okay, I have this drop down here. So when I click, I get to see various types of bullet list. Okay, I could change to any time I want. Notice I've changed the bullets in it. I also click to also give it a different bullet. Okay, so that the next one is the ordered or the numbering listing. Now to do that, I'll just select my item. I will go over to the next icon just after the bullet list. So numbering list, which is also called the ordered listing. So click at the default So notice my list has been numbered starting from 1 to 7. Now the next thing is the multi-level listings. The multi-level listing has combines both the bullet and the numbering list. Now you see we are asked to create a multi-level list of meal timetable containing the breakfast, the lunch and the dinner, and a sub-list of tea, tea and bread, pizza and juice, fried rice and chicken. Okay, so I'll just go over here. I'll embolden this so to just keep it separate. Okay, to make it stand out. So I just embolden the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner. Now, the tea and the coffee are sub-list of the breakfast. So I'll go over to this icon over here. It has a multi-level list. I will click on it. Okay, notice it has various hierarchies. Alright, so I can just choose either the default one, which is this takes the initial. It's the Microsoft Word can't differentiate the sub-list from the main list. So for me to do that, I'll click on the sub-list, which is the one for tea, coffee, and bread. I will click on this indentation. I will just press tab. Okay, notice when I press tab, it it becomes a sub-list. I'll go to my coffee. I'll press tab. I'll go to my bread. I'll press tab. So I'll do the rest for pizza and juice and ice cream. Okay, ice cream. Press tab. I'll go back to dinner. I'll put my rice, my salad, and my chicken. And this is how to create a multi-level list. Okay, I can make my coffee a sub list of tea. Just simply click on it and click tab. Notice this one becomes a sub list of my tea. I could do the same for juice. I will do the same for salad. So this is how you can create your multi-level list. Notice it contains both the numbering and the bullet listing. I could go on and on. If I don't want this format, I could just select it. Okay, go back to this place. There are various patterns of the multi-level list. I could select this. Notice how it has been formatted by documents. Okay, I could also go to keep it at the default. So this is the multi-level list. So the next thing we are going to look into is the indentation. Now the indentation is just right next after the listing. It helps to push our paragraph or our text either towards the margin or away from the margin. To be able to appreciate this, I'm going to select my first paragraph left. So I'll just select this item over here. Now I'll go over to my command group. Okay, over here is the increase indent, and the other one is the over here is the decrease indent, and the other one is the increase indent. So I'll just click on the first one, which is the decrease indent. This one moves the paragraph closer to the margin. So I'll click on it. Notice what happened. My paragraph shifts towards the left. Okay, so it can't shift further because this is the margin line. So I'll do the same for this. I will select this, and this time I will choose the increase index. It moves the paragraph far away from the margin. So when I click on this, notice how my paragraph is shifting far away from the margin line. So I'll click on it again. Okay, it keeps shifting. So this is when creating a Word document. Now the next after the indent 2 is the sorting. Now sorting is simply a tool that helps us arrange our item or our text in a sequential order either on the ascending or the descending. All right. Now to activate our sorting tool, then go over to the paragraph command tool. Over here is the sorting icon. Notice this dialog box pops up over here to tell us more. The sorting arrange the current selection in an alphabetical or numerical order. This is especially useful if you are trying to organize data in a table. Now to activate this, you have to first select your item. Okay, so we'll select it. Okay, then we'll go over to the sorting icon. We'll click on it. Microsoft Word have Microsoft Word has interpreted our selected item as paragraphs. Okay, so if it's not paragraph, if probably you want another option, you can click on this drop down. We have the headings and the field, or will this as default. Now, the type of items, they are text. If you're not satisfied with this, you can click on this drop down. You can choose number or date, or for this example, the items are text, so we'll leave this as text. All right. So these are the pattern of sorting the ascend. Now over here we have the ascending and the descending order. So we're going to leave this as an ascending order. Okay. Now we will leave this as default. To click more option, you can go over here. This allows us to choose different fields. So we'll leave it in over here as default and we'll click OK. And then we're done. We also click OK. And notice how my items are being arranged in an ascending order from the alphabet in ascending order alphabetically from A to Z. Okay. If I want to change it to the descending order, I will go back, click on it, and I'll choose descending order, and I will click OK. Right? That is how it has been rearranged in a descending order. But the next thing after the sorting is the paragraph mark. And the paragraph mark in Microsoft Word is mostly used to help the user identify paragraphs in a document. Alright, but it is non-printable. Activate this in Microsoft Word. We don't really need to select our item. You just need to go over to the paragraph mark, click symbol. So we'll click on it. You simply apply paragraph marks to all the paragraphs in my Word document. So this helps me identify the paragraphs in my text document. So I'll just go to unclick this. So to hide the paragraph or to undo this, you just go back to this icon and we'll click out. This takes the paragraphs marks away. Now the next thing is the text alignment. Now in Microsoft Word, we have four major types of text alignment. We have align to the left, to the center, to the right, and lastly justify. Alright, now to align left is the default text alignment. So this all the alignments we have here are all aligned to the left. So let's say I select this, the align left pops up showing me that the text is already aligned to the left. So even if I click on it, notice no more changes is being shown. Now the next one is the align to the center. Now I will select it. Now next after the align left is the align center. Okay, you can use the shortcut Control E. So when I click on it, notice my text is being aligned to the center. Okay, so the next one is align to the right and the align to the right. So this time I will select my text. Okay, and I will click on this align right. It is just after the center align, so I'll just click on it and you can use the shortcut Control R. So I'll click on it. Okay, notice what happened over here. My text are all being aligned towards the right. This is this sharp straight edge I have here at the right corner, and the sharp straight edge I have here. Now lastly is the justify alignment. Okay, so to justify our paragraph, we simply select it. Okay, now go over to this icon over here. This is justify. So this distributes our text evenly between both margins. So if we use our shortcut Ctrl G, I can just click on this and notice what happened. Oh, click at our text is being justified. The left, the right corner have this straight sharp edge. Okay, so that's is justified. So it helps to align at both corners, the left and the right. Now next thing we have is the line spacing. Okay, next thing we have in the paragraph command group is the line spacing. Now the line spacing simply applies spacing to our text document or to our paragraph. It is found next after the the alignment tools. Okay, so when I click on it, this the line and paragraph spacing choose. It helps to apply same spacing to the whole document. Alright, so to do this, I will simply select my text document. Alright, I will now go over to my alignment. I will click on it. You notice I have this. Notice when I click on it, this text, this dialog box pops out. Okay, giving me various sizes I could choose. As I scroll down, my text spacing increases depending on the option on the size I select. Now to view more option, I could go to my line spacing option. Okay, over here I am allowed to increase the spacing towards the left and the right, towards the before and after. So I could increase this and then make this 0.5. Okay, this as I increase, this dialog box over here gives me the preview of what I'm doing. I can also reduce. Okay, over in spacing, I could increase it. Notice as I increase, it tracks it downward. I could decrease. So you could play with whatever option you have here, and whatever option we have here, and click OK. Also, we also have the line and page break, so we could play with whatever we have here. And when you are done, just click OK. So I'll just leave everything as default. Just click OK. It is my text fix the line spacing of my setting. Next we have is the keyboard command group. And the keyboard command group is also found in the home ribbon over here, and it contains a copy, a cut, a paste, and a format printer, which we will look into each of these. Copy a document, you simply select it, select the document. Now, just immediately our text is being selected, we get our copy here, or we could just select the short key, Ctrl C. So I'll just on this icon, my item has been copied. Now, if I want to replace, now my item has been copied. Now I'm going to place back the copied item by using the paste option, or I will use Ctrl V. So I'll click on the paste option. Notice how my item has been pasted. I can use Ctrl V to paste. Okay, and notice why I paste, the previous text remains the same, it doesn't change. Now the next is the cut tool. The cut tool is also a way of copying a document. The difference is that once a text is being cut, it removes the text. Okay, it's more like the move tool. So I'm going to cut this text I have here. I will select it. Okay, now I'll go over to the keyboard command group. I can see my cut over here. This removes the section and put it on the clipboard. So I'll just click on it. Okay, notice my text has been removed, but it is on my clipboard. So to paste on another place, I'll just press Ctrl V, or I'll click over here, paste. Okay, notice it comes back. I can also paste it. Okay, but the difference between the cut and the copy is that the cut removes the text totally and paste it on another place, while the copy leaves the original text. Okay, now the next, the format painter. The format painter simply transfer the text formatting of a text document into another document. Okay, now for us to be able to appreciate this, I am going to format this text with a different properties and then use the format painter to transfer the properties to this one over here. So I will select it. Okay, I will give it this font. All right, I will change the color. All right, I will change the font. Okay, now I've changed this. Now I want to duplicate this to this other statement here. To do this, I will use the format painter. So I will select my text, go over to the keyboard command. You can see the format painter. I will click on it. Once I click on my format painter, the icon changes. So what I'll just simply do, I'll just simply select the text I want to apply the formatting to. So I'll select it. I'll just release, notice the text takes the formatting of the previous selected text. This can also be applied to paragraph. Now I am going to copy the formatting I have on this to the other paragraph. So to do that, I also repeat the same process. I will select, go to my format painter, click on it. Then this time I will select my paragraph and I will release. It immediately takes the formatting of the previous selected text. The next thing I'm going to look into is applying a shading and a border. Now the shading is just after the line spacing. Okay, we have the shading over here. So to shade the text, simply changing the color behind the selected text. So to do that, I will select my text, then I will apply shading to it. So it immediately fills the corners or the areas of the text, giving it a color. I can change this color. Let's say I could pick a more lighter color. Pick this color. Okay, and watch how it gives the area of the text a different color. Okay, just by clicking on the shading icon. Now to remove the shade, click also at the text. We go over to the shading drop down, we click on it and we select no color and it goes back to default. Now next after the shading is the border. To apply border, we select the text, go over just after the shading is the border. So we click on this. At the default is the bottom border. So if we select the bottom border, notice it's only add border to the bottom of the text. We also have the top border, you have the left border, you have the right border, and you have different types of borders in here. For this exercise, I'll be using the bottom border, which is the default border. So I'll select it. Okay, notice how a border line has been given to my text. I'll also apply border to this paragraph over here. So I'll just give it a little split space. I'll select it. I'll go back to my border, click on the drop down. This time I'll select the all border option. Okay, and notice how my paragraph has been given a border. Click on this drop down. I also have different things I could do. I could draw a table, I could view guidelines, the lines I could set my border and my shading, okay, to any format of my choice. Let's say I want my border to be dotted. I'll simply select it and I can choose the weight. Alright, and when I'm done, I will click OK. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is after the paragraph formatting is the style formatting. Now, the style formatting is a property found in the Home tab. Alright, it helps us arrange or format the styles of our text. Now, style formatting, it is being categorized into different hierarchies. For example, you can see our style command group over here. Looking over here, you will see the number, the spacing, heading 1, 2, 3, 5 to 5. If I click on this drop down, I will get to see more headings. Notice I have the title, the subtitle, and the rest. I can create a style, I can clear formatting, I can apply style. So a lot can be done on, but we'll look into most of these styles in details. For now, we have the title, so we have the subtitle, we have the heading. So for us to understand how these styles affect our text, I'm going to select this one, okay, and I'm going to make it a title. So I will click over here. Notice I'm going to go to my title over here and I will click okay. Notice how it has restyled over here to a title. And I will make this a subtitle. So I will select it. I will select it. And I will go over to this. And I will search for my subtitle over here. I will click okay. The next is heading. Now I have my heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and so on. So I will make this my heading 1. I will select it. Okay, I'll click on the drop down. Okay, this is my heading 1. Okay, I'll make this my heading 2. Make this my heading 3. Notice as the different heading has different formatting. Okay, so we could click over here and play with. There are various types of heading. We have the emphasis, the strong, and so on. So you could play with it on your Word document. Alright, now the next is the collapsing the ribbon. Now to collapse the ribbon, you can see over here, there is this arrow over here. Okay, so once you click on it or you click on Ctrl F1, it collapses our ribbon. So to bring back our ribbon, you click on any of these tabs. Since we are in the home tab, and click on it and it comes up. And next we have the find tool, we have the replace, and we have the select. Okay, so this select object and text. So this find is it's used to find special, it's used to find text in our document. Okay, let's say I want to find the word format painter. Okay, when I'm done, notice it gives me the result of the places I have my format painter. I just click on whichever one I want. Okay, and it traces it to that point. Alright, so once I just click, it takes me to the point where I have my format painter. Not just that it takes me, it highlights it for me to see. So, and the next thing we are going to look into is how to insert symbols. Now, symbols, as you well know, are special characters that can be inserted on our Word document. Now, there are some symbols that are not found on our keyboard. So to have access over the wide range of symbol, we go over to the insert tab, and the insert tab, right, we locate our symbol Our symbol is over on the symbol command group. So we'll click on the drop down. Okay, now we can see some recently used or more symbol. We click on this icon over here. When we click, this gives us a dialog of various symbols. So as we scroll, we get to see different symbols that might not be able to access using the keyboard too. So I'm going to choose this symbol. So when you want to insert, you just select it and you click insert. Okay, notice once you insert them, it forms your recently used symbol. So I'm going to insert some of these symbols. Okay, now when I'm done, I will click close. Okay, you can see these are the symbols I just inserted. Now, still in my symbol tab, I still have what we call the special character. Okay, so these special characters can also be inserted on our Word document. This from trademark, I can insert it. Okay, copyright, I can insert it. So you just play with whatever character you want to insert. You just click on it and insert, then you click close. Okay, notice our trademark copyright has all been inserted. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, which is page appearance. Now, page appearance has to do with how our page looks. Now, to have access to the page appearance, we go over to the Layers tab at the home ribbon. So, at the Layer tab, see various properties that affect our page. First is the margin. Now, the margin helps us to align our content towards the edges of our page. It serves as a guide to restrain our text. To access on the more option on the margin, we click on the drop down. Okay, now you have various different types of margin. We have the normal, we have the narrow, we have the moderate, we have the wide. So to customize our margin by clicking on this custom margin, and this takes us to this dialog box over here. So over here we can choose to increase the top margin, we choose to decrease it. Okay, let's make it 1. And let's increase it. This as I increase, notice it's downward. Okay, giving me a preview of what I'm doing. So I'll leave this as 1.2. I will leave bottom as I will increase it. Notice as I increase, the changes takes place here. Okay, I also have the margin for the right at 0.5. So I'll make it 0.8 and I'll make here 0.7. Okay, so I also have the orientation and the portrait. I can also change the orientation over here either to portrait or landscape. Okay, I also have some other changes I could do here. I could apply my settings here to this section or to whole document. So when I'm done with my setting, I will just click OK. I noticed how my document margin has been set. The space is now has readjusted. So to return back to my default margin, I will go back and I will click on my normal margin. Okay, or I can just use my narrow margin. Okay, and notice the distance. Okay, changes. So the next thing we have is the page orientation. The page orientation allows us to change the layout structure of the page. There are two types of page orientation. We have the portrait and the landscape. Now the page orientation is found at a layers tab in the home ribbon inside the page setup command group. You can see our orientation. So we just click on the drop down and see the portrait mode and the landscape mode. Now our page is on the default portrait mode. So we can decide to change it to landscape and see how page layouts change. When we click on landscape, notice how my page orientation have changed. Okay, now it now has more length than height. So I will take it back to my portrait mode. Okay, into is the paper size. The paper size is an important property of a Microsoft Word. As a professional, before you start your project, it is always advised to choose your paper size, which is the size of paper your document will be printed on. So the paper size to command is found also in the layout. As you can see just next after the orientation. Okay, so we click on this drop down here. You see varieties of paper size. We have the letter size, the tabloid, the legal, the A4, A3, A5. You scroll down to see more paper size. Okay, you also have access to more sizes or to customize more sizes. You click over here, and this dialog box allows us to make changes or to customize the size of our paper. Okay, we also have access to other settings with the printing option and other settings. Also to the margins of our page, the layout too of our page. So I'm just going to leave our page as the document, which is the A4. Alright. Now the next property is the watermark. And the watermark is found in the design tab. So we go to the design tab, now click on design tab on the home ribbon. If you don't have design tab on your home ribbon, you simply right click, go to customize ribbon. Alright, this pops up the dialog box for all the main tabs. So you will see your design over here. Just click on it, make sure it is green tick. Okay, as you can see, all the tabs green tick here show comes up on our home ribbon. So I'll just unclick the one you don't want, then you just click OK. So this time we already have our design tab already. So then you go over to the page background, we can see our watermark icon over here. So we just click on it. So once we click it, it gives a default customized watermark. Okay, so over here we could get more watermark from office.com. We could customize watermark. We can also remove watermark. Now I'm going to be using one of the default watermark. Notice once I activate it, notice this writing over here comes on my page. Okay, I can also edit it by simply going back to this watermark drop down, go over to customize watermark. Okay, alright, so I'll just click on text. So this time I will change the text to Microsoft Word. Okay, when I'm done, I could change the font if I want to. I could change the size. Okay, I'll just leave everything as auto. I can make it diagonal, which is to be this way. I can make it horizontal. So I'll leave it as diagonal and I'll just click apply. Alright, now I'll click OK. Now I'll click close. Notice my watermark has been added with the word Microsoft Word. Okay, now the next thing we have is the page color. And the page color adds color to our page, making our page colorful. To access the page color, still at the design tab, you can see our page color just next after the watermark. So we click on it on the drop down, you're going to see colors. So as you scroll through the color, notice our page color changes from white to the selected color, which I scroll to. So for scroll one, I'll just select one of this color. Okay, and notice our page color has changed and it affects all my page. Alright, I can also see the watermark I customized, which is Microsoft Word. Now you're going to just leave it as default, which is no color. You can also access more colors by clicking this. You can also access the fill effect. So for more colors, when we click on it, you get to select whatever range of color you want by just simply mixing the red, green, and blue hexagonal numbering, okay, to get our color. So we just leave it back Clicking on standard, you also see different methods of selecting different colors. So when we are satisfied, I'll just click OK. So I'll just take out the color because I don't want color for this exercise. So I'll click on no color in the page color icon. So I'll click on it to go back to my default state. Now the next thing I'm going to talk is the page border. The page border gives border lines to the page, and it is just next after the page color. We can see our page border over here. So we just click on this, okay? The dialog box pops up. Okay, so over here you can select whatever format you want. We have the box format, shadow format, 3D format. Okay, so I'll just go with the so over here we could choose the style of how we want our 3D. Should it be inline, dotted, double, triple, tick? So let me work with this. Okay, now over here is the color. We could choose the color of our border. Maybe you want it to be red, yellow, green. Okay, I'll just make it red. Okay, then we have the width, which has to do with the thickness of the border line. So I'll just leave it as this. So over here too, we also have more control to apportion this art. So when we click on here, which is the art tab, you see a lot of different patterns of art we could use. Okay, we select any of them that are pleased with, we select them. Okay, then come over here. This gives you a preview of how your border lines will look like. Alright, so you can apply a border to the whole document, or I could choose to apply it to this section of page I'm on. So I'll just choose the whole document and I'll just click OK. Notice my border has been applied on my page. As you can see, all my documents, all my whole document that has border in it. So I'll just go over to remove the border. So I'll click none, then I'll click OK, and my border goes away. I also remove the watermark, so I'll just click on watermark, and I'll get watermark, and over here I can see remove watermark. So I'll click on it, and the watermark goes away. Alright, now the next thing we're going to look into is the header and footer. Now the header appears at the topmost section of the page. It contains important information. Okay, so to insert a header, we go right into our insert tab. On clicking our insert tab, the insert panel pops up. So we'll go to our header and our footer. So we'll click on the header. It takes some time to load. Then this dialog box comes up. So these are default headers. Alright, to view more headers, you can go to your more header from office.com and edit the header. You can also remove header. So when I scroll down, I get to see various types of header. Alright, so for this tutorial, I am going to be using this particular header. So I'll click on it. Okay, notice it comes on topmost section of my page. So it allows me to edit. Okay, actually I can fill in my details here as micro. So for beginners, and novice. Alright, after I've done that, I can just release. Okay, my name is Helma Official. Just leave this as my name. Alright, now when this section of the page is open, the header and the footer panel pops up. So this allows me to add more information. I could add my page number, the date, the documents info, right? So if I click on the date, notice the date panel pops up. So I'll just go ahead and select the date format that I want to. Okay, you just click here, update automatically. What this does is whenever it's open, it updates to the current date. So I'll just click OK. Okay, so notice my details add document title. So I also have other information I could add. I could go into my document info. I already have the author. I could add any of this, right? So I could go to my quick parts. Also have the field. I have a lot I could play with. I could add pictures to it. So I will just click over here. It takes me to my computer. So I'll just go ahead. If there is a picture I want to add, all I have to do is just to click on it. Okay, let's say I want to add this my thumbnail picture, so I will click on it. I will click insert. Okay, this time I will just reduce, right? So now I can just click, okay, just make it to the top and bottom. Okay, so if we have this freedom, this flexibility around the page. So if you noticed when this is selected, I also have other options I could use to edit it. I have this picture style. I have so many methods I could use on it. Okay, so I'm just in this report. So we could add whatever information we want to add, a picture. So over here section, which is the position, it helps you adjust the size of your header. Okay, the header from top, so I can decide to increase the size. It's as I click, the header comes down, okay, giving more space at the header section. Okay, I could just click on this to reduce. When I'm done with whatever thing I want to add here, I could just click close. Alright, and notice my header. Just this page, the header affects all other pages. Now, if I scroll up, notice that the pages I have the same header format attached to it. So I'll go back to my exercise. Also, we can, when a header is inserted, we can also edit it by simply clicking on the header section. Immediately, we get the header and footer control panel, which gives us more control over those. We can also change the current header by going over to header icon, right? Select whatever header we want. Maybe you want to change, you want to use this one instead, just select it. Okay, notice the header changes. Alright, so I'll just give it back to search for the header I used before, which was this. I'll click on it back. Okay, I'll click out and I'll add my dates. Okay, let's click OK. For this time, my date comes up here, so still have space. I will decide to shift it using the tab key. Okay, my hair is a little bit bolder. Okay, I'll just increase the font size. Alright, and I could change the color too. Just when this dialog box pops up, allows me to edit my text. So I could just change the font. Let's say to this. Okay, I could just change the color. Let's say to this. Alright, I could also change the style. Okay, so whatever format. So when I'm okay, I'll just click close. But the next thing is the footer. And the footer is the same. It's more like the header. Alright, so the footer is also found in the insert tab, just next below the header, as you can see over here. So to activate the footer, you click on it, and this gives us the default saved footer. So we can just scroll down to make a selection of the one we want. For this tutorial, so you can run this particular footer or select it. Okay, make sure you select it. Notice the footer comes below this section of the page. So the footer appears in the bottom section while the header appears at the top section. So over here now I can add information. Alright, just write please subscribe out, or just click out from the also edit it. Alright, maybe I want to change or I want to correct the spelling. I'll just right click. Okay, when I'm done, I can also add any information I want, the page number at the bottom of the page. So click on this. Alright, I want my number to be at this section, so I'll just click here. Okay, notice my number comes up through, so I will add a lot of information to this. Okay, I can still add document info, document title. Just click on it and this comes up. I want to edit this, I'll just click on this and I'll just write, please subscribe, share this. Alright, when I'm done, just click out. So I'm allowed to add whatever information I want to add. Okay, maybe I want to add my file name. I'll just click on it. And over here, I can, at this particular part here, I can change the distance of the footer from the bottom. So maybe I want to take it down a bit. I'll just reduce it. Since I click on it, it's the distance between the footer and the bottom reduces. So just leave it this way. And when I'm done with whatever setting I want to set, I can now click close. Now, even when the footer is closed, you can also access and also edit it by simply clicking on it and the footer header panel pops up. Then we can now delete or add whatever we want to add. So let me just change the color. I just double click on it to select. Okay, this time I'll go to my home tab. I'll have to make the color this color. I'll have to increase the font size. I can make my changes. I will have to make this decentralize it. Okay, so I think I'm done with this. So you can play with whatever information you want to do. And when you're done, you just click close. Alright. Now the next thing we have is inserting a table. Okay, a table is simply used to organize or group information with others. Okay, so you can see over here, this is an example of a table. This is a 3 by 6 table. 3 for the columns, which is 1, 2, and 3, and 6 for the rows, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is 3 by 6 table. So now we're going to draw or insert a table. Now to insert a table, we go to the ribbon, click on the insert tab. Okay, so we click on the drop down, insert table. Now you can insert table by scrolling this. First of all, let's take it a little bit forward. Let's raise it up so we can see what we're doing. So when I go to table, now watch what happens. Now when I click here, this is 1 row, 2 columns, 1 row. Now when I click, it becomes 3 columns, 1 row, 3 columns, 2 rows. The question says draw a table 3 by 4. So that means 3 columns and 4 rows, which is this. Okay, so this is our table. So you can see 3 columns and 4 rows. Now you can also insert a table by going on insert table. It takes us to this. Now this gives us number of columns. You can now manually put the number of columns you want. Since in the question says, since in the question we are asked to do a 3 by 4 table, that means 3 for columns and 4 for rows. So 3 for columns and 4 for rows. So we can put our auto behavior as, we could make it fixed column with the default. Okay, as is set as auto. Okay, set as auto. Now we can do it fit to content, fit to window. So for this exercise, I will fit to windows and I will click OK. Notice I've gotten the same table but from a different process. So next in insert, we also have draw a table. This you just click on the workspace, you draw. Okay, as you can see, you can divide. Okay, so you can play with this. You can add table. You can also you can see. So you can insert the table through any of these means. Now, as you can see, we have three tables we inserted through different methods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and delete. So to delete the table, when you click on a table, you notice something. Two tab comes up at the ribbon, the table design and the layout design. Now, so I can delete. I notice when a table is clicked, these two icons comes up, and with this, it gives you greater control on your table. Okay, you can if you go to table design, you can see you have different table styles which you could use. When I click, you can see different table styles. If I click on drop down, I see more styles I could use for my table format. I could also modify my table. I could clear, I could create new table styles. Okay, and layout gives us a greater control of the table. We'll talk more about this on our next video. Okay, now the next thing we'll look into is the inserting an image. Now, to insert an image in Microsoft Word, we go over to the Insert tab, click on it. Okay? On clicking, it opens the Insert panel. And over here, just next after the table, you can see the picture thumbnail. So we click on that says Insert pictures from the computer. On the computer, stock, image library, or online source. We click on this drop down. Now we have the option to insert from our device, from online, from stock images online, and from online pictures. So if there are pictures you want to get online, you can click over here and this will take you to the internet to download your pictures. But for this exercise, I'll be using a picture inside my device. So I will click this device. Then this takes me into my computer. This time I'll be picking a picture from my computer. So I'll be picking this picture. I'll download it. So I'll click insert. Okay, so immediately I start notice my picture comes into my document. Now, notice once my picture is being inserted, the picture mat panel pops up, showing me certain properties and giving me control over the pictures. Now, there are a lot of things I could do with my image. And notice on this image, I have this little icon which is called the layout option. And what this icon does for me is it helps me apportion the image along with the text. When I click on it, notice there are various options. This one has to do with in line with text. Okay, now if this image is in line with text, this is what it does. It pushes the text out from it. Now, if I choose the other option, let's say I want to choose the square option. Okay, notice what happened in this square format. Okay, so there are various layout type we could use. So you can also use the in front of text. What this does, it covers the text. It's in front of the text. You also have behind text. This time it goes back of the text. So any of these options can be used to insert an image. So I'll be using the right option. Okay, so I'll just shift my picture image to this point. Alright, now and this anchor allows me to rotate my picture to whatever corner I want. Also, if I decide to enlarge it's always advised to enlarge from either of these four corners I have here so as to maintain the aspect ratio of the image, because if I decide to expand it from here, it will affect the the aspect ratio. Okay, because one side is being stretched. So I'll just press cancel. I will click on it and I will drag. Notice it gets enlarged, maintaining its aspect ratio. So this is most recommended way to enlarge an image. Make sure you always enlarge from either of these corners. Alright, so I will talk more on an image on the lessons to come on this tutorial. So next one we are going to look into is the autocorrect. Now in Microsoft Word have a special properties that helps us correct words instantly, okay, especially a misspelled word. Okay, so one of the ways we could correct is we could store a word. Alright, let's say I want to spell subscribe, okay, and I misspell it. What happens over here? I get a red line under it showing telling me that this word isn't correct. Now to autocorrect it, I'll click on the word, right click, okay, and this gives me a selection of the correct word I might want. Okay, over here is subscribe, so it gives me related that towards what I'm spelling. So for this example, I'm taking with the subscribe because what I want to write. So I want notice it auto correct the word. Another way to also auto correct the word is to save the word on the Microsoft Word. Okay, let's say I'll go to that. This time I will copy it. Okay, then I will go. Then I will click on my option tab. Okay, now this open a dialog box for me. I will go over to my proof. Alright, now notice you see the auto correction option over here. So I'll click on it. Alright, now this pops up. So I will come over here. I will paste what I just copied. Alright, subscribe, which is the correct spelling. When I stored it like this, I will click add, just say okay, and I will say okay and subscribe. So I will spell X U D C, making a mistake. Okay, now imagine I am done. Okay, I'll click sheet. Notice it's autocorrect my word. So what we look into is the spelling and grammar. Now, this feature allows us to examine and to correct errors on our page. To access the spelling and grammar icon, we go over to the review tab. As you can see, I don't have the review tab here. So what I will do is I will click on any tab, okay, right click, I will go over to customize ribbon, customize ribbon, right? So this takes me over to this place. So I'll click on it, and I'll click okay. Immediately my review tab comes up over here. So I'll click on it here. As you can see, we have our spelling and grammar under the proven command group. So I will click on the spelling and grammar. Watch what it does is go through my document or my file, and wherever spot I made a mistake or there are some error, it tries to correct it. For example, it has been able to look the statement I have there, and it has recommended the correct suggestion for me. So if I click on this, notice it autocorrect it, then it moves to the next statement that has error. Notice this blue line here is asking me to, is suggesting the correct answer for me as this, as error with the comma, the close comma. So I will click on it. We just go on correcting all my work. Okay, this is how the moment I accept the situation, my words are being auto corrected, not correct. And if I don't want to go on correcting, I can just click ignore once. Okay, and once I click ignore once, it ignores the recommendation. Okay, so when I'm satisfied with my document, I could just click on this icon, cancel. Okay, and the next thing also is the check accessibility. Now, this confirms the authenticity of the document. It helps to recommend the best practices for the profiling of our document. Alright, so to activate the check accessibility, still at the review tab. Alright, you can see our check accessibility here. Now, when we click on the drop down, here we have some other options. So just click on the check accessibility. And notice what it does. This check accessibility, it tries to tell the user the best way to write so that every other reader can understand. So when I click, it's asking me to convert, so I'll just go ahead and I'll just press convert. I'll just click OK. I'm able to establish some errors I made on my document and also some warnings. Now, if I click on this to expand, Okay, I will see missing the missing alternative text. Okay, I have the group one over here. I can click on the drop down, it takes me to the point. Okay, and it also makes suggestion for me to add description or mark as corrective. So either of the two, just select and it go. After correcting the other ones to be corrected still appear. So I have the chat file, chat one. So all I just need to do is to click on them, right click on the drop down and click on any of the recommended action. Now next after here, I can see a checkbox over here that allows me to keep access checker running while I work. And what this does is it makes sure it checkmates me while I work. Okay, so to additional information, steps to fix. Right click on the object, then select the edit alternate text. Okay, so this over here guides you on procedures to fix the recommended errors. So that's the accessibility check. It helps comment errors and also guide us on how we can correct them. Alright, now when I'm done, I'll just click on this cancel icon, okay, to close the check accessibility. Now the next one we look into is the print and export document. Then after we are done with our document and we want to print, okay, we can use the shortcut Ctrl P, or you can go to our website, click on it, right? Then over here you can see the print option here. So click on the print option. This takes us to the print panel. So over here you can see the print command. Okay, so here we could increase the number of copies. So this other place here we could select our printer. So we can click on it, go to whatever printer that is being connected. You just select the printer. Okay, but for now on this tutorial there is no printer being connected. So I'll just select the Microsoft Word to PDF. Okay, so over here are some settings you can do. Print all pages from page you want to print. So you can just put the numbers of the page you want to print. Over here it says print one-sided. You click on the drop down. Okay, you can see other options. Print one-sided, print manually print on both sides. Okay, so there are a lot of settings you can do over here. You have the portrait orientation. If you want to change the orientation, you can put it to landscape. Put this my document changes to landscape. So I'll leave it as portrait. Okay, over here you could change the paper size, okay, to whatever paper you want to print it out to. Okay, so I'll leave it as default before. So you also have the margin. Okay, you can click and select the margin whatever you can click and select whatever margin you want. So I'll leave it as normal. Over here you have to print the number of sheets. You can select whatever number of pages you want to print. You want to print, is it one page per sheet or 2 pages per sheet? So you just select the one you want. So I'll leave this as 1 page. So at this little icon over here, I have my page setup. When I click on my page setup, I get to see other settings too. I could set before I print. Okay, I have the margin downward box. I have also the paper where I can select my paper. Okay, I can also customize my paper over here. I also have my layouts. Okay, I could adjust my headings, my fittings, and the rest. I can apply my settings to the whole section, to this section. I can also apply to the whole document. Alright, now when I'm done, I will click OK. And when I'm satisfied with the setup of my settings, this over here shows me my document and what is to be printed. If I'm okay with it, I can now print it on my print. So this now prints my document. Since I'm printing it into the computer, it asks me to specify the name. I just put it MS Word, right? I just click save. Now immediately my document is being saved to PDF. Now this my document is being printed. It's being printed below over here. I can see the number of pages being completed. When it's done printing, I could easily minimize my Microsoft Word. can see my document overall has been created as PDF. I will click on it. Okay, so this opens my Microsoft Word document over 140 pages. I will go back to my Microsoft Word. Alright, so the next thing we have to talk about is the export. Okay, and to export the document, you go to back to the File tab. Alright, just after the printing, you have the share, then you have the export. As you click on the export panel pops up. Okay, over here says create PDF or SPS document. Okay, so you click on it, you click on this, right? So this takes us back also into our desktop, prompting us to where the document will be saved. So I can change the name, the save file as is being saved as PDF. Okay, I could just click on the drop down to select the other option, which is XPS document. When I'm done, I'll just click on the publish. The publish, export it to my desktop. So I'll click on the publish button, and my document is being exported as an SPS file. So to replace my document, I'll minimize this and then go over to where my document has been saved, as you can see. Okay, it has been saved in this format. Okay, now we can also export our documents using another file type. Okay, to do that, click on the file tab. Okay, we go back to export. Now over here, you can see the change file type. So I'll click on this. Okay, and this pops up giving different options of which I can export my file. So I have the document, the Microsoft Word, the Word 1997. I have the open document text. I have it as a template. Over here, I have different formats as you can see. So whatever one I want to save it as, I'll just have to click on it. Okay, then I'll click on save as. Or I can just click on this save as another type. Maybe the option I want is here. I will click here. So this takes me back into my device. Okay, so I will click over here. You can see I have multiple options of which I could use to save my documents. Okay, for this exercise, I will save it as a plain text. I just click save, and my document is being exported. Text is being converted, and I'll click OK. Alright, so my document has been successfully exported. So minimize, I can see my document over here being saved as a script. So I can open it. Notice it has been saved in my notes file as a script. First, it converted it, then turned it to a plain text. Okay, so after the export, congratulations, you just concluded the Microsoft Word comprehensive guide for novice and beginners. Now, so far so good. We started by reviewing the Microsoft Word interface. Then we went to the Microsoft Word layout, order formatting, styles, inserting, table, image, and symbols. We also talked about the page appearance, the header, the footer. We also correct the spelling and grammar. We check accessibility, the printing and export, and finally converting our file to other types. So you can go ahead, practice the font formatting, paragraph formatting, changing of styles, images, page appearance, the headers, and play with everything we are done. Okay? Knowledge is about practice. If you don't put it in practice, definitely you will forget. So whatever thing I've discussed with you guys here, try to practice it on your own. That way it sticks into you. Alright, thank you very much for having stayed up to this point. Please subscribe to my channel so to get more updates. Part 2 is coming up shortly, so I could keep you posted on my coming videos.